Isn't it wild? Like 80% of shoppers globally say sustainability is, a big deal when buying beauty stuff.
Yeah, sounds great on the surface.
Right. But then you dig a little, and less than 30% actually trust what the brands are telling them about it.
That's a huge gap.
Exactly. So what's going on there? What's behind this massive trust issue in the beauty world?
Well, that's precisely what we're getting into today. We're looking at this really insightful piece, scan me if you can, Inside Beauty's Transparency Revolution.
Okay.
It's by Stuart Irvine. He's the founder and CEO of MerchUX, and his whole focus is sustainable business, product transparency, biodiversity, consumer engagement, basically everything we're talking about.
Perfect. So he's right in the middle of it.
Absolutely. His perspective is key here.
Okay, so for this deep dive, our mission is pretty clear. We want to unpack what clean beauty really means, or maybe what it doesn't mean sometimes.
Right. Cut through the marketing buzz.
Exactly. We'll look at greenwashing, why it's so hard to get actual verifiable proof from brands, and we'll explore this link, which I found fascinating, between everyday beauty ingredients and the global biodiversity crisis.
That connection is often missed, I think.
Totally. And then, crucially, how technology, things like QR codes and Stuart's platform, MerchUX, how they're aiming to, well, revolutionize transparency and hopefully rebuild some of that trust.
And we should definitely touch on the EU digital product passport, too. That's a big driver behind the scenes.
Good point. Yeah. So think of this as your shortcut, really. A way to understand this major shift happening in beauty. We'll pull out some surprising facts, some key insights.
So you can navigate all those ethical and sustainable claims a bit more easily?
Exactly, with more clarity.
Okay, so let's kick off with clean beauty. The industry is huge, right? Almost $700 billion globally.
Wow. Yeah.
And clean is definitely the buzzword. But like we said, that massive gap, 80% care, less than 30% trust.
That attitude-action gap.
Precisely. It really shows people aren't just buying the pretty packaging or the nice words anymore. They want something more.
You nailed it. Consumers are way savvier now. Vague slogans just don't cut it. They want evidence, like actual proof that what they're buying lines up with their values.
And that desire for real truth, that's pushing things like the EU digital product passport forward. Brands will have to share more detail.
And even without the regulations yet, you can feel it. Consumers are starting to expect that kind of real-time data access.
Okay, now this part I find really, really interesting. The article highlights this link between our bathroom products and, well, the biodiversity crisis.
Yeah, it's not the first connection you'd make, is it? Your face cream and, say, the Amazon rainforest.
Not at all.
But it's super important. The estimates are pretty stark. Something like 56% of beauty ingredients come from these biodiversity hotspots.
56%. Wow.
Yeah, places already under serious ecological stress. Think the Amazon, Southeast Asia, fragile coastal areas.
And it's not just about taking the ingredient out, right? It's the whole process.
Exactly. It's the farming, like palm oil plantations replacing rainforests, which hits habitats and species hard. Or the energy needed to process some ingredients, pumping emissions into these already vulnerable zones. It's the whole chain.
Over half. That's staggering. So what kind of ingredients are we talking about? Things we use every day.
Oh, definitely. Think about stuff like palm oil, obviously, but also vanilla mica, ingredients that are in so many products.
Right.
But getting them can lead to deforestation, water pollution, even impacting vulnerable communities who live and work there.
Yeah.
It's sobering when you trace it back.
It really does make you think twice about what's on the shelf. And the article gets into why people care more now. It feels more personal.
It does. There are a few drivers. People want their actions to match their values, feel like they're doing the right thing.
Makes sense, like reinforcing your moral identity.
Exactly. And there's this, especially among younger people, this real anxiety about the future of the planet they're inheriting. Legacy fear, they call it.
And maybe the sense of belonging. Choosing sustainable brands connects you with others who care.
Yeah, that tribal belonging aspect. And also this idea that our health is tied to the planet's health. Like your skin thrives when ecosystems thrive. That really lands with people.
It does. And brands are picking up on this, but maybe not always genuinely. The article mentions biodiversity claims get way more traction than just natural.
That's spot on. Euromonitor found that claims linked to biodiversity drive purchase intent like 2.3 times higher than a generic natural label.
Whoa.
But yeah, that opens the door for what the article calls greenwashing 2.0.
Ah, yes. the next level of vague claims.
All those clean, green, eco-friendly labels suddenly popping up everywhere.
But without much substance behind them, like a brand might hype one biosourced ingredient that's only like 1% of the formula.
While the other 99% is standard stuff.
Right.
It's technically true, but misleading.
Exactly.
And we've all seen those labels. Sustainable, natural. They sound good, but what do they actually mean? It feels so unregulated.
That's the problem. In many places, these terms have no strict legal definition. So a company can say recyclable packaging.
But not tell you if it actually gets recycled in most places.
Precisely. Or they announce, we'll be carbon neutral by 2030.
With no clear plan or checks along the way.
Exactly. No interim steps, no independent audits. And people are starting to see through that lack of real proof.
So it's a lot of talk without the walk. And consumers are getting wise to it.
They really are. They're suspicious. And it's not just reputation anymore. Brands face real risks now.
Like actual penalties.
Yeah. Regulators are starting to crack down on bogus ESG claims, fines, getting banned from markets, being publicly called out.
Wow. Okay.
The pressure is definitely on to shift from just telling stories to showing the actual numbers, verifiable data.
Okay, so if the vague stuff is dying out, what's next? The article talks about a transparency revolution, mentioning QR codes.
Yes. Digital transparency isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. It's becoming the baseline expectation.
And these dynamic QR codes linked to things like GS1 Digital Link, these upcoming digital product passports.
Yeah.
They're the key.
They're game changers. Seriously.
So much more than just a standard barcode then.
Oh, absolutely. Think of them like portals. You scan it, and bam, you get real-time granular data.
Like what specifically?
Where every ingredient came from, the product's carbon impact, certifications it holds, even specific instructions on how to recycle that package where you live.
That's incredibly specific.
It is. Brands can basically turn every product into this little verified storyteller, building trust with every scan.
And people are actually scanning them. The article had a stat about next year.
Yeah, the projection is 59% of shoppers scanning a QR code daily by 2025.
Daily. Wow.
And when the scan gives real value, like confirming authenticity, showing reviews, offering a reward, engagement shoots up. We're talking conversion rates up to 81% in some cases.
81%. Okay, that's effective.
Totally. And like we mentioned, these systems are essential for complying with the EU DPP and other rules coming down the pike in North America. So delaying adoption is getting risky.
Right. So the first step is really understanding that beauty choices have real impact beyond the surface, connecting to biodiversity. Which brings us to MerchUX, the platform from the article's author. How does that fit in?
So MerchUX is built as this integrated platform. It handles the transparency, the consumer engagement, and the verification piece.
Okay.
By using these GS1 compliant dynamic QR codes, brands on MerchUX can show real-time traceability, display their certifications, prove their ethical claims.
So it's not just about ticking a compliance box.
No, exactly. It's designed to be a brand trust engine, as they put it. Consumers scan because they genuinely want the info.
Right.
And technologies like GS1 Digital Link and the DPPs provide the standardized backbone for that reliable data. MerchUX just makes it easier for brands to implement and manage it all.
And it have that unique reward aspect too, right?
Yes. That's really innovative. When you scan a MerchUX code, you can get rewarded with a measurable sustainability impact via Earth Today's unit of nature system.
A unit of nature, what's that?
It means you're directly helping protect 1 square meter of actual land. It makes the impact tangible for the consumer.
Wow, okay. That's concrete.
Yeah. And besides that, brands can use it for loyalty points, how-to videos, user contests, lots of engagement options. The core idea is helping brands prove their claims, not just make them.
The article gives some really solid examples of this working in the real world. Can you share a few?
Sure. There's SAR, the Norwegian salmon company. They used QR codes for traceability origin, environmental footprint, saw a 20% jump in customer retention.
Nice.
And they could charge 12% premium for those verified products. Then there's Patagonia telling worker stories via QR on fair trade items.
What happened there?
15% increase in repeat buys, 30% more social shares about those products.
Impressive. Any beauty examples?
Yeah. Lush put QR codes on packaging with ingredient sourcing info. Those products sold 18% better than others.
18% just from the code.
And got 40% more engagement on their sustainability content. Even huge companies like Nestle used it on milk in some regions for farm-level traceability.
And that worked?
50% sales growth and a real rebound in consumer trust. And think luxury LVMH use blockchain QR codes.
For anti-counterfeiting.
Exactly. Cut fakes by 30%, boosted resale value by 25%. The takeaway is clear. Give people real proof, real transparency.
And they respond with trust, loyalty, and their wallets.
Absolutely.
It really feels like we're at a crossroads in beauty. The article calls for a hard reset, saying biodiversity isn't just a buzzword anymore.
That's right. It's becoming this measurable responsibility and, frankly, a competitive edge.
So future success isn't just about looking good.
No, it's about being verifiable, proving your impact. The brands that embrace traceability, reward good choices, deliver proof, they're the ones set to lead.
The call to action is pretty direct. Scan, verify, share.
Vote with your phone, because clean beauty isn't the whole story anymore. Honest beauty is what's next.
Okay, but a question people might have. Will customers really scan these codes? Is it an extra step they'll bother with?
It's a valid question, but like we said, that 59% daily scanning stat by 2025 is pretty telling. People are getting used to it.
Using it as a bridge between physical and digital.
Exactly. They like getting instant details, tutorials, checking authenticity, and especially those sustainability credentials.
And they might not know the tech terms like GS1 or DPP.
No, probably not. But they do care about the results. Knowing where stuff comes from, if it's ethical, the environmental impact, that matters.
And you mentioned these codes can actually sway a purchase.
Definitely. If a scan leads to great reviews, proves it's the real deal, or unlocks a discount, that can absolutely tip the scales.
And the reward element, does that really boost engagement?
Oh, the data says yes. Big time. Offering something tangible, loyalty points, discounts, exclusive content gets way more interaction.
You mentioned some numbers.
Yeah, some connected packaging QR campaigns hit scan rates up to 14%. That's huge. And mobile marketing campaigns with QR rewards, conversion rates up to 81%.
81? Okay.
And we heard about Clinique shoppers engaging with their QR experiences, converted 2.5 times higher, spent 30% more.
Why does it work so well?
It's pretty simple. A clear benefit for the user, it's easy and frictionless to do with the scan, and it can be personalized.
So best practices are like a clear call to action on the pack.
Yep. Make the reward redemption seamless and track what works to make it better.
Got it. So this advanced QR tech, the dynamic codes, GS1 digital link, DPPs, it sounds like it's really moving into the mainstream now.
Definitely. It's becoming the go-to for traceability, compliance, engagement. It links the physical product to all that digital info ingredients, authenticity, sustainability, recycling.
Using that unique GTIN code.
Exactly, in a standard format. And adoption is widespread. Over 2 million businesses globally use GS1 standards already.
So they're kind of ready for this.
They are. And we're seeing big beauty names like L'Oreal, Clinique, Vaseline, Natru already using QR codes, including GS1 Digital Link.
And that 2027 deadline is pushing things too. The sunrise.
For sure. Phasing out old barcodes for these 2D codes like QR. Plus, the DPPs are being piloted now, especially driven by EU rules.
So the main drivers are regulations, consumer demand, and industry standards pushing it forward.
Yep. And it's not just beauty, food, fashion. Other consumer goods are jumping on board, too.
So by 2025, we expect, what? Hundreds of brands using GS1 Digital Link.
Estimates are around that, yes. And dozens, maybe up to hundreds, piloting DPPs with really rapid growth expected after that.
Okay, let's zoom in a bit. Many listeners are probably interested in hair care or clean skincare specifically. What drives buying decisions there?
Well, for both, ingredient safety and transparency are huge. People are really looking to avoid certain chemicals.
But the product still has to work.
Oh, absolutely. Performance is key. Does it deliver results? But then brand value, sustainability, cruelty-free are almost equally important now.
And packaging. Minimalist formulas.
Yep. Eco-friendly packaging, responsible sourcing, clean and simple ingredient lists, and personalization is big too. Plus, reviews and recommendations matter a lot.
So if someone's looking for hair care, what's top of mind?
Often it's clean, vegan, cruelty-free, but still professional quality. Addressing specific needs, color-safe, hydrating, good for the scalp, and eco-packaging.
And for skincare.
There, it's often about simple but effective routines. Gentle, natural ingredients, knowing where they come from, supporting overall skin health.
And how much does a brand's overall social responsibility, their CSR, play into this?
It's massive now. It builds trust, loyalty. People are often willing to pay more for brands they believe in.
It helps them stand out.
Big time. And conversely, getting caught greenwashing can seriously damage a brand's reputation with these consumers.
So these shoppers are informed, values-driven.
Exactly. They want products that work and that align with their ethics. They expect both effectiveness and real social or environmental good.
Just to give us the big picture, how big is the overall beauty market, and what are the main challenges, maybe especially in hair care?
Globally, beauty and personal care is huge, around $677 billion in 2025, and still growing.
Wow.
You've got the main segments: personal care, skincare, hair care, makeup, fragrance, and men's grooming is booming.
And the big trends.
Clean label, vegan, cruelty-free, products that do multiple things, tech integration, personalization. Those are key.
Lots of big companies, but lots of smaller ones too.
Very fragmented. You have the giants like L'Oreal, Unilever, Estee Lauder, P&G, Shiseido, but thousands of others, including indie brands.
And specifically in hair care, what are the pain points?
Consumers want simpler routines, multitasking products, huge pressure for sustainability across the board. The market's crowded, lots of competition. Supply chain issues and costs are a factor. Consumer expectations keep changing. They want personalization, wellness tie-ins, tech, and the salon side has staffing challenges.
And the market sizes.
Yeah.
Hair care specifically. Hair care globally is nearly $99 billion in 2025, growing about 4.2% a year. Skincare is even bigger, around $187 billion.
And that clean beauty part of skincare.
That's a really fast-growing slice, over $15 billion, growing at more like 12% annually.
Yeah.
Huge interest there. Okay, so bringing this deep dive home, what are the main takeaways we should remember?
I think the biggest thing is that the beauty industry is really at a turning point. Consumers demanding real transparency, verifiable sustainability that's not optional anymore. It's becoming the standard.
And greenwashing is losing its punch.
Yeah, regulations are tightening, consumers are way more savvy and skeptical of claims without proof.
And these digital tools, the QR codes, platforms like MerchUX, they seem crucial for rebuilding that trust we talked about at the start.
Absolutely. They're the mechanism to deliver that real-time, verifiable info and even show tangible, positive impact.
So for you listening, it's definitely something to think about how this transparency revolution affects what you buy, which brands you support.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. If a quick scan can now tell the real story behind a product, right down to its impact, and even help protect the planet, how long before that level of honesty is just expected everywhere? Not just a selling point, but the norm. What other industries might be next in this transparency revolution? Definitely something to chew on.